As befits a charismatic villain, Bill Cipher has his own origin story, surrounded by no less secrets and mysteries than Gravity Falls in general.
What do we even know about Bill?
Well, first of all, his real name is not Bill Cipher. Nobody knows the real one.
Seriously? But why? Is it cursed or too complex to pronounce?
Bill himself said that it would evaporate one with an expression of horror and ecstasy on their face.
Oh, that sounds weird. And nobody knows if this is really the case because Bill arose from the second dimension, in which, surprisingly, he even had parents. However, we know nothing about them. We can only assume they were triangles, just like Bill.
Anyway, he appeared in that dimension several trillion years ago. It is not known how long he spent there, but he clearly didn't like his life there. He described his home dimension with the words, "flat minds in a flat world with flat dreams," which just might be a reference to the universe from the book Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions by Edwin Abbott. The main character is a square from a two-dimensional world who travels through several dimensions. In this world, the less angles you have, the lower your social status. Triangles were one of the lowest social classes, and most were merchants and soldiers.
If that was the world Bill came from, no wonder he was dissatisfied with his position and chose to liberate his dimension. I mean, he brought destruction to it.
He did not spare a single soul. Except for, maybe, Hectorgon, a member of Bill's gang, plunging an entire dimension into a continuous burning chaos, including his parents and everything related to his past life, rising above it all. Then Bill managed to master a substance called the Realm of Nightmares, a kind of strange intergalactic foam that boils and moves between dimensions, without any consistent physics, without any laws, without anything. Just one continuous boiling chaos that wanders between dimensions. In a sense, this description also fits the nature of Bill himself.
Yeah, I agree. Still, this chaos could lead to the destruction of the Realm of Nightmares. However, at some point, Bill discovered a prophecy, which said that the Realm of Nightmares can be united with the third dimension. That is, where people live, where the planet Earth is located, in which there is our familiar town, Gravity Falls. And Bill Cipher began to do everything to make it happen.
It is also worth noting that at that time, Bill didn't have a physical body.
So because of this, he could only first enter into the third dimension exclusively with the help of people's dreams, Mr. Scoffer?
Yes, Mr. Fullylover. During the same period, he took the name we all know, Bill Cipher. With this name, he traveled through people's dreams, and at one point he came across the natives who lived in the lands of the present Gravity Falls and the state of Oregon. Among these natives was a shaman named Modoc the Wise, with whom Bill made contact in an attempt to explain about the Realm of Nightmares.
Bill asked Modoc to build an interdimensional gate, but the poor shaman could only build it from branches, which didn't suit the demon. Later, Modoc learned another prophecy, which said that as a result of cooperating with Bill, an apocalypse could occur. This became the reason for his self-arson. Ugh!
Still, the natives found a way to defeat Bill with the help of the Zodiac Wheel, which depicted symbols related to the characters of the series. For a while, the natives succeeded. They even left instructions in the form of rock paintings that detailed the events of their time. Their only mistake was that they abandoned the spell to summon the demon, although they issued a warning that it should not be read aloud under any circumstances.
Oh yes, and ever since then, the valley has been considered a cursed land. In 1000 AD, the natives were evacuated. After some time, a man named Quentin Tremblay rediscovered these lands, successfully populated them with some people, and founded a town named Gravity Falls.
You might think that the story of the demon Bill Cipher ended there, but it was only the beginning. It all happened because of Stanford Pines, the second grunkle of the main characters, who once disappeared.
That's right! At the end of the 20th century, Stanford Pines, a young scientist and researcher, had already passed 6 years of that time, researching all sorts of anomalies, oddities, and creatures unknown to science, which he discovered in the territory of Gravity Falls. And one day, he discovered the cave.
This was the exact cave that the natives did their rock paintings in. What do you think? Of course, he didn't follow the warnings and chanted the spell aloud, thanks to which Bill was freed. However, the demon didn't disclose his essence to Ford, seeing that he was dealing with an insecure person who clearly didn't have many friends. Ford was the perfect target for manipulation.
And this This is awful. Bill deceived him by posing as a kind of muse who, once in a millennium, chooses a brilliant mind to inspire. And surprisingly, Ford, despite being a man of science, believed it.
You know, it's difficult to talk about science when, after a spell has been uttered, an image of a conscious, omniscient being appears in front of you and tells you that you're basically the chosen one. I bet you would believe that too.
Eventually, Bill told Ford that all the anomalies in Gravity Falls were caused by nothing more than gaps between dimensions. Roughly speaking, the anomalies leaked from the other side, much like in Stranger Things, where creatures and anomalies appeared from the upside down.
Well said. After Ford found out about this, he threw all his efforts into constructing those interdimensional gates, right under his house in the basement. He made drawings, building them with his own hands, and even hired his friend from college, Fiddleford McGucket. Fiddleford helped his friend with the design and construction, but over time he began to seriously worry about Stanford.
And for good reason. The more the supposed friendship between Ford and Bill grew, the more obsessed Ford became. Not only did almost every piece of furniture or interior design contain triangles that resembled Bill's shape, but Ford also allowed Bill to enter his mind. But what could McGucket do?
Nothing. Stanford never introduced him to his, friend. Bill made sure that Fiddleford didn't see him directly, and Fiddleford didn't, except once.
Oh, you mean the day McGucket abandoned the project and Bill told the truth?
Exactly. This happened in 1982, January 18th. On that day, Stanford and Fiddleford conducted an experiment in which Fiddleford accidentally hit a portal headfirst for a short time. And of course, not without consequences, because he saw none other than Bill Cipher himself, who also took off his exoskeleton.
Brr, that's creepy. McGucket lost his mind after this experience, but he was still sane enough to immediately pull out of the project. This incident, along with frightening whispers inside his head and the fact that one of Ford's eyes began to bleed, brought Ford to his senses somewhat, and he finally confronted Bill. In the process, he learned the whole truth about who Bill Cipher really is and what happens to dimensions he enters in general. Now he knew all about the realm of nightmares and the chaos that Bill wanted to bring to Earth.
Of course, Ford closed the project, trying to destroy or hide all data about the portal and other dimensions. But unfortunately, because of an accident with his twin brother, Ford himself ended up in the portal, where he spent years running away from Bill and trying to construct a weapon that would destroy the muse who turned out to be a demon.
And all this time, Bill remained in the nightmare realm, watching Ford's brother, Stanley, desperately trying to fix the portal, and waiting for someone foolish enough to summon him and strike a deal. Several decades passed until one summer, two twins arrived to spend their holidays in Gravity Falls.
And we all know what happened next.
So, what do you think about Bill Cipher's origins and his purposes?
Let us know in the comments.
And don't forget to subscribe to Cartoon Junkies.